with no irony in my voice, standing here outside before work in the dark, wearing short sleeve shirts. Winter has gotten here. And the reason I know that is that about half an hour to an hour after I went to sleep last night, I needed a blanket. I began to lose the body temperature I needed to stay warm during my sleep. And that's the first night since summer. So winter is officially here. Alright, this is it, I think. The last piece of James's bed jungle. I'm going to start calling it that. It's the bed jungle. And it goes in here. With any luck. Ah, it fits perfect. Ta-da! Okay, here's my complaint. I want Pokemon Go to fix this. I'm playing music on my phone down here through Bluetooth. You can hear it. Of course, it's going to stop. I turn on Pokemon, and the sound goes down. Then I turn Pokemon off, and the sound comes back up. Started doing that about 2 updates ago, and it really causes havoc with my speakers. Fix it, please. Okay, it's Thursday, and my friend David's coming over with his truck shortly, and we're gonna go to IKEA again, and this time we're gonna get a Billy bookshelf, a narrow one, 15-inch. I've told you about this, and an extension. I'm gonna put it in the corner with the corner kit, and I'm also gonna get a bigger one, also with an extension, put next to it. And that should increase my bookshelf space dramatically. And with luck, that'll be all I need to do with the bookshelves. I can mount them to the wall. I'm not getting the desk today, but I really want to because I'd like to get my computer set back up. But I don't think I'm going to do it. We've stopped for pizza. Now we're going to get the shelves. And it's cold. It's just cold. It's arctically cold out here. Oh, that was a smooth camera move, wasn't it? Ooh, there's cup holders. Excellent. Yeah. Ah. And the back of the truck is now filled with Billy bookshelves from IKEA. It's a Billy Day. Oh, the week's finally over, but now the weekend begins. And it started badly today. The temperature was 20 degrees colder today than it was yesterday morning. It was cold. I was regretting not wearing a jacket, let alone a short sleeve shirt. Anyway, last night we went to IKEA. It was already getting cold, and you saw that. We bought some bookshelves. There, bookshelves, tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah, and now we're going to put them together. They're going to go over there, in that corner. I am tired of not having a desk with my computer on it. So, I now have a grungy collapsible table desk set up. So I have something to work on. We are on our way. Not here in this car. We are on our way. I'm looking for something. Ah, there it is. I'm looking for the clamshell. Here, I'm going to put you right there in the dash. And I'm gonna get... Do pay attention. Stop falling over. That's a good phone. Yes. Okay, I could reshoot this, or I could leave it like it is. And just go with it, because it's funny. Anyway, I'm getting my clamshell back. Irene had to use it yesterday for her GPS, but she's got her base, so now I've got my clamshell. Okay, off we go. We're heading to the Margaret Hance Park, which is the site of the Pizza Festival, second annual, Phoenix. Well known as the greatest pizza mecca on the planet Earth. All right, strike that. Well known as a pizza mecca. No. Well known as a city that has some pizza restaurants in it. Yes, I think that, well, okay, no, not well, mostly known. Well, a city that has some pizza in it. Yes, I think safely we can make that statement. Phoenix is a city that has some pizza in it. And we are going to go remove some of that pizza from the city soon. That's what we're doing.
Eli?
Okay, 2 stops so far. First one was Vicious Circle Pizza, and too bready. Crust was way too sweet, but at least they were cooking it here on site. Or not crust, sauce was way too sweet, so not really a big fan. Came into another place which was, I can't remember the name now, but here's the picture of it. Mobile brick oven. And thinner crust, which I like better, a little too dry, bit overcooked. Sauce was, well, I just didn't like it. Didn't like the sauce. I mean, it was tomatoey, which, despite the fact I hate tomatoes, I kind of prefer my pizza sauce to be right there at that edge between sweet and tomato. But there was something different about this one. Didn't care for that. And then another disaster, I put my phone in my pocket. Apparently the screen was still on. And touched my thigh through the thing, went into delete apps mode, and it deleted Pokemon Go off my phone. And you can't download it unless you have Wi-Fi, so I can't even get it back until we get somewhere with Wi-Fi, which is really pissing me off because there's tons of Pokestops and I need them. All right, more pizza. Okay, better crust on that one. Fireside pizza. But sauce is way too sweet. Way too sweet. They gave me a free piece though, so I'm okay with that. Long line for this one. Freak Brothers. Apparently they don't even have one here. It's coming to Phoenix in 2017. Chuan's in line. She's fetching pizza for me. And herself, I presume. Okay, so judgment on Freak Brothers. Piece is too small. Crust was cooked, but a little softer than I'd like. Thin, and again, a sauce I didn't really care for. Too tomatoey. Strange. I'd like to try it in a real pizza setting.
So where are you guys gonna be? Yes. I think we're migrating this way. That way. All right.
So, second annual Phoenix Pizza Festival. Here are my thoughts. I was impressed by the number of places that actually brought pizza ovens and were cooking the pizza at the festival. So that part is good, because, you know, what's worse than somebody making some pizzas earlier this morning and putting them in a box and bringing them across and keeping them in a plastic heat tray. Oh, that's what Z Pizza was doing. But then I didn't eat there. So here's the thing. Roughly half the places were places that I already know and eat at and like. Z Pizza, although I don't like Z Pizza, and Spanatos, Rosati's, a couple of others. Now, no point in going to a pizza festival and eating there, because I can and do know what their pizza tastes like fresh in their proper conditions. So it was the places that I hadn't been to. Vicious Circle, Fireside, Freak Brothers. There was one that I got to eat at. Oh, and that Lacey and Don's or whatever it was. Those places I wanted to try differently. Admittedly, you know, even still with the mobile equipment, they may not be cooking up to their best standard. I wasn't impressed with any of the ones that I had. I had a total of 5 slices and I was not impressed. There was something wrong with all of them. So on those grounds, a bit of a flop. There were a couple of other places that I wanted to try, Do Mama's, Tutsan, but the lines were too long. And there's a probably mistaken assumption that if the lines were long, they must be good. But I don't think that's the way it works. I think that the people who are here see a long line and they go, well, I don't know that pizza, so I'll get in that line. It must be good. But that's not true. It's just circumstance. One place, the Freak Brothers, we're pretty sure the line was long because they were just incompetent working a register. It didn't take very long to get the pizza, but it took a really long time for people to pay and make the order. And then once the line stacks up a bit, then more people get in line and the line continues to stack up, and eventually everybody is all, that must be a good place. So after the first one of those, the other 2 or 3 places I wanted to go to all had stacked up lines of 40 or 50 people, and it just wasn't worth standing in the line. And I had 5 pieces of pizza. That's, even though they were kind of small, it's all right. It'll do. It wasn't a waste, but it wasn't as successful as I had kind of hoped that it might be. But it gets us out of the house. This is the first wave of bookshelves. This is the 3 of the original shelves and the 1 new 15-inch placed in a corner configuration. Had some minor problems with it. There was turned out there was some damage to my bookshelves that I had not noticed, and I'll show it to you. It's down here, and it looks like that was the unit that was right next to the cabinet that got destroyed, and they were literally touching each other. So if you think about it, when the car hit and the bricks came in and hit that cabinet, the cabinet was pushed against the bookshelf, And the bookshelf was bolted to the wall and bolted into the next bookshelf, which was bolted to the wall, to the next bookshelf, and the next bookshelf, all bolted to the wall. And that cabinet just pushed against the bookshelves and imploded effectively. So I was looking for damage along the left-hand side, and there's a scratch or two here, but nothing that really matters. But when I got to putting in the corner units, it turns out that V-corner thing that came with a kit goes at the bottom, and you set the bookshelves in it. So when I got around to setting the bookshelves in it, imagine my surprise when I saw those kind of crushed out bottoms, and they don't fit in the channel. So I had to rearrange the bookshelves so that the good end was in a position that I could fit into the channels. So it wasn't a big deal, but I hadn't noticed it. I'm not concerned about it. I just, hadn't looked there. But if it makes sense, because if the bookshelf got hit, if you picture this is the bottom of the bookshelf and it gets hit over here where my watch is, it's gonna do this as it gets pushed briefly. And it's the feet over here that kind of spread out. So that makes sense, but there it is, corner unit. I need to buy an extra shelf because apparently we did have extra shelves in there. And then that's it. I'm gonna start putting books back in it now.